And other than that, I will just introduce now Benoit Gussin. This is our guest speaker for this month. He's based in Sabah. He's the director of the Danau Jiran Field Center, which I would say is the best and probably most comprehensive field center for ecological studies in Malaysia at the moment. At least in this kind of work. There are always like past away, there are all the things going on, but in terms of wildlife studies, this is a very, very complete team looking at many different species from different angles. I guess that's what they will care about. Benoit is also a lecturer in Cardiff University, so the Danau Jiran is co-managed by Cardiff, has some involvement with Sabah Wildlife Department, and then of course the Danau Jiran team. The team is very diverse again. There are many Malaysian students and foreign students, and then many young people doing many things. It's a very dynamic place, and I think it's quite a good international reference, and you have many people visiting and collaborating with you, as well as some very good field courses. Are they open for the public? It's something that they at some point.
We don't do tourism, but we are open for scientists and researchers and anyone with interest in wildlife conservation.
But the field courses, sometimes they have slots for students from all the universities, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
They come from all over the world.
Yeah, so then we can discuss this a little bit as well, but there are some very good field courses and topics like primates or tropical ecology and this. Benoit has over 15 years of experience working mainly in conservation genetics, over 70 scientific papers, and has worked with many species, a lot with orangutans, elephants, I guess something with rhinos and pangolins and lorises and crocodiles, and yeah, so this is the pangolin. Okay, so then without any further ado, we'll just pass the microphone to Benoit to talk, and then if you have the microphone, if you have a mobile phone, just make it silent, please. We are recording the talk, so that if everything goes well, there will be an audio podcast online at some point. And we'll have a long Q&A later, so that just if you have questions, just leave them for the end. Okay? So thank you very much.
Thank you, Anita, for this presentation. Oh, and I see my very good friend John Robertson behind, who is actually that's extremely instrumental for the setting up of the Danau Jiran Field Center, and is the next staff of Cardiff University. So thanks, John, for coming. Well, thanks to all of you to be here tonight and follow this presentation. So what I'm going to do is going to talk about what we are doing at the Danau Jiran Field Center. As you can see, there is a long list of people there. All these people are my students. Also, some of them are my staff. Most of them are PhD students, but from all over the world, but also from Malaysia, and some also are master students. So I'm going to go through the work that we are carrying out here in the Danau Jiran Field Center, which is located on the border of the Kinabatangan River on the east coast of Sabah. And it's the first and only Sabah Wildlife Department research facility, and it's also the only one for Cardiff University. So I don't know if any one of you has been already in Kinabatangan. Anyone? Yes? A few. So the Kinabatangan is the longest river in Sabah, and I think the second longest one in Borneo. About 560 kilometers, and it goes from the east coast, from the Sulu Sea, up to central Sabah in Maliau Basin. And so the Danau Jiran Field Center is located here in this small forest fragment called Lot 6. And the Lower Kinabatangan Wildlife Sanctuary is here in dark green. And the idea of this center is to connect all these light green forest reserves that are under the Sabah Forestry Department. So the Lower Kinabatangan Wildlife Sanctuary is under the jurisdiction of the Sabah Wildlife Department. And here, this is the Sandakan Lahadatu Road. So when you come to Sandakan, you fly to Sandakan, you take the road here, you stop here at the bridge on the Kinabatangan, and you take the boat. So we are only accessible by boat. No car can access the field center, which makes that place very unique compared to many other places. It's very isolated. The students really feel that isolation, but that's also the charm of this place. You could see on the map, that all the white, you know what it is? All palm plantations, yeah. So you can see that we are surrounded by all palm plantation, and that's why I was talking about wildlife responses to habitat degradation. It's an extremely degraded habitat. Those who have been there, I'm sure you have seen that. This was the Kinabatangan in 1937. This is the Kinabatangan today. You can see not many big trees left. And this is on the riparian reserve. So this, I hope it works. Yes. So that's going to show you the landscape changes from 1982 to 2014. Have a look. It's striking. It's fast, but it's on purpose. In red is the lower Kinabatangan Wildlife Sanctuary. You want me to play it again? No. It's quite depressing. And you can see that there is even encroachment in the sanctuary or in the forest reserve, like for example here. This is the boundary of the sanctuary. So, well, this is the situation, and that's what we live, that's where we work with highly fragmented habitats. You can see here plantations going up to the river. They don't leave any riparian reserve, so we're fighting against that. And then obviously you've got this massive old palm plantation. And all started when, back in 2000, I came for the first time in Sabah, working on orangutans. I started a project on population genetics of orangutans. I'm a conservation geneticist by training. And I carried out a long survey and sample collection of orangutan hair and feces along the Kinabatangan, about 260 kilometers of river. Stopping each time I was seeing an orangutan, collecting his poo, sometimes getting it on my head. And so I looked at the impact of fragmentation and the patterns of genetic diversity within the sanctuary, and look at whether there was already signs of habitat fragmentation and impact of habitat fragmentation on the genes of the orangutans. And so we saw that the immigration rates across the Kinabatangan, that you can see here, was almost zero. There was no migration, and it's understandable. Orangutans don't swim, like proboscis monkey, for example, and so the large rivers are complete geographic barriers for orangutan dispersal. And so what we did with the genetic data, we used, I'm sure some of you know, Vortex, which is a program that helps you predicting extinction in species populations. So what we did, we played with all the genetic data and also the population data that we had from census carried out by helicopter and ground census, and then we modeled the extinction in each of the forest fragments, and we played with parameters like connection. If you connect two fragments to each other, what's going to happen? Also with translocation from one fragment to another, what's going to happen? And so here, what you can see is that all the reds, and we can't really distinguish the red and orange, but all the red fragments, which are actually the smallest, we predicted extinction of orangutans within 100 years. If it was nothing was here, it was done. And then in the orange ones, difficult to see, but I think got 4 here, got 3. we predict extinction in medium term. And then all the green are the only fragments that are viable in terms of genes. And so what we did also is we looked at the effect of corridor connection between some of the fragments, and we modeled reconnection after 100 years. And then, as you can see, if you start reconnecting, the inbreeding coefficient starts to decrease. So reconnecting populations has an importance in terms of conserving the genes and the genetic diversity within populations. So in the Kinabatangan, we face a lot of different barriers that can be natural barriers like the river, the main river, but also plantations like this, tributaries, some small tributaries, orangutans cannot cross. A drain like this, sometimes orangutans cannot cross, or even elephants, because it's too steep. Roads, and also river reserve encroachment like this. So the possible management actions are, land acquisition and restoration. I will show you one example. Building some orangutan bridges or primate bridges. We can remove drains or build a bridge on the drain. We can remove the road if it's within the sanctuary. And also for river reserve encroachment, we can remove the palm moles and restore the land. So back in 2009, we had an orangutan conservation colloquium. And so we recommended to create contiguous wildlife corridors of natural habitat to balance sustainable development and also the conservation of the orangutans. And we say that the development of such corridors must be pragmatic and enforceable through legal clarity and community engagement. So the law in Sabah is that along rivers there must be a minimum of 20 meters on each side of the river. Some palm oil plantations don't respect that. What we suggested during this colloquium is that the wildlife corridors must be a minimum of 100 meters along each side of all major rivers within the distribution of wild orangutans. This is the only way. 20 meters is not enough, and especially with erosion of rivers, 20 meters in 10 years will be 0 meters. So this is not working for connectivity. So we did a lot of publicity around that back in 2009, 2010, urging for creating forest corridors. And 3 years ago, DGFC and the local government, this is the Assistant Minister of Tourism, Culture and Environment, and also the local community from Kopel in Batu Putih, where we actually stopped to take a boat. We recovered an illegally encroached riverine reserve by plantation. So we basically took the minister sitting there, unearthed a palm oil tree, did a great job, and then with the local community we unearthed about 400 palm oil trees. The land that we recovered was about 20 acres, you can see here. And then now every year we are droning above the land, so this is the area that we recovered. And now it has been planted by the local community, so that's 1 year after, and this is now it was last June. You can see that it's starting to recover. You can see now there's some forest, and here also. This is elephant grass. So hopefully, and this is the sanctuary, and on the other side is the forest reserve. So hopefully this is going to act as hopefully a corridor for wildlife. And we have already some presence of wildlife coming back, like birds, but also civets and other species. So what we are doing at the Laogenan Field Center, we basically work on landscape use. We are looking at how wildlife is responding to habitat degradation, to habitat fragmentation. And we're looking at their behavioral responses to fragmentation and also to agriculture. how do they cope with this? Small fragments, palm oil plantation around. How do they disperse in that kind of environment? What are their opportunities? Do they disperse through the plantations, which can happen for some species? Do they use the plantation? And so all this research will have an impact on corridor protection, enhancement, and restoration. So this is research applied to conservation. This is what we're doing in the Nawian Field Center. And what we're using specific tools such as satellite colors, radio colors. We're also doing camera trapping. We use conservation drones, and we also do some landscape genetics. And these are the models we are working on. We work on clouded leopard, on elephants. That's how we started, on elephant. We work on crocodiles, monitor lizard, proboscis monkey, small carnivores such as civets. We started a project on sun bear, but at the moment the project is on hold. We're also working on reticulated pythons, pangolins, and so forth. And I'm going to go through now a few projects with a little more emphasis on the elephants, because obviously I'm invited by Dr. Aimsa, so I have to talk about elephants. So this is Nur Zafarina Hosman. She's from Peninsular Malaysia. Nur Zafarina is a legend. She's a local hero. She's from Alosa. She's been working with me since 2005 when she came to me as a young. She just got a degree, very shy. She entered my room at the Institute of Tropical Biology and Conservation at UMS. And she asked whether she could do a master with me and I just started my project on elephant genetics. And so I said, yeah, sure, no problem. She's still with me. 11 years later, she's now finishing her PhD. She's going to graduate at the end of next year, I hope. And she's been amazing. She has been now traveling all around the world talking about Bornean elephant and the plight of the Bornean elephants. She was a Disney conservation hero last year, and she's one of the best in my team. And she's been working on the social behavior and landscape ecology of the Bornean elephant, and mostly the Kinabatangan. These are 4 female elephants that we have colored in the Kinabatangan, 4 out of 15. And you can see how they are using the landscape, and some are actually using plantations. And obviously we have thousands and thousands and thousands of points. I'm sure Himsa has got the same thing for Peninsula. And now we are at the stage where we are analyzing all our data. We have colored in Sabah 37 elephants so far, and we are still coloring more. Here, this is part of the work of an MSc student from Amsterdam University of Amsterdam, Brittany. She's American, and she looked at spatial and ecological predictors of Bornean elephant hotspots in the old palm plantation. And here you can see that, so all these are old palm plantations. This is the forest of the Kinabatangan. And you can see that we have analyzed a few females, mostly. Yeah, they are all females there. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 females. And she has been looking at hotspots, where where each elephant is spending most of their time in palm oil plantations. And you can see that they spend a lot of time in old palm plantations. Here, you can see in a different way the hotspots. So the idea now, the idea is to go back now to these areas and see why they are spending so much time there. Is it because of erection of fences? Is it because of maybe a salt lick, or presence of minerals, presence of a small forest there where they go overnight and then they go inside the plantation? They go in the forest during the day and then in the plantation at night. So next job is to go and see exactly what's happening here. But most likely, and I'm sure it's obvious, they were using this land before. It was their home ranch. They were living there. And 10 years ago, they were not spending as much time as they do now. So they have, little by little, started recolonizing and revisiting these areas. But you can see what is really interesting also, that they're not using much of the forest as well. So just to go back, because this is only the data from bamboo plantations. But here, for example, they never go to the Gomonton Forest Reserve. Never. This huge forest here, they never go inside. Why? It's swampy. They don't like to be in the water. I don't know if it's the same thing here in Peninsula, but they don't like to stay in the water and have their feet in the water. I mean, you don't like that too. And so they're actually very fragile animals. Conflicts. I promised some bad pictures for Christine. I'm sorry. This is Little Joe. You probably remember what happened 3 years ago, 2013, when 14 elephants were found poisoned in the central Sabah. It was a big thing, went all over the world. Sabah was pointed, and we still haven't found the culprits. We have done a lot of analysis, and yeah, they have been poisoned. They are also the result of conflicts in plantations. Elephants are shot. This is an elephant that has been snared. Snares are not for elephants, but they are usually for wild boar, deer, but they also walk in it. And they also go on roads, but they don't have the choice. So our work is to also work on these conflicts, and we are assisting the Sabah department and coloring elephants in all these conflict areas, like in Telopit complex, where they go into villages and destroy their crops, and also sometimes their habitation, and they also attack people. So what we're doing is we're setting up satellite collars. Sometimes we translocate them, sometimes we just leave them there and see how they use the landscape and come back with some recommendations to the villages or to the district office. This is in near Lahadatu. 10 elephants were rescued a couple of years ago and then translocated back to Tabin Wildlife Reserve. Last year or 2 years ago, 25 elephants. That was the biggest translocation ever. They captured the whole group and translocated them to Tabin. It cost millions of ringgit to do this. But this is one of the females that we colored and we sent back to Tabin Wildlife Reserve. So far, it works for some individuals. They stay in the area where they have been sent back. Sometimes it doesn't work, especially for males. But in general, we have some good results in terms of translocation. But we really assess the sites where we translocate them to make sure that they don't go back. You probably heard, because I make a lot of noise in Malaysia, and especially when it comes to elephants and to conflicts. You probably heard about the issue of the Sukao Bridge in the Kinabatangan, where there is this local YD who wants to build a bridge to apparently connect people and connect villages on the south part of the Kinabatangan to the north part. Actually, there are about maybe 1,000 people there, mostly plantation workers, plantation villages. So it's mostly to actually help the palm oil plantations crossing the river and bringing their crops. So it's not really for the people. If this bridge and road are built through the sanctuary, it will destroy the elephant population in Kinabatangan, about 250 elephants. And we will see things like you are seeing here in Peninsula Malaysia. So this is the Kinabatangan, just to give a little bit of insight on this problem with the bridge. So we have a bridge here already. You can see that before the elephants were traveling all along the Kinabatangan up to central Sabah, when they built the bridge here on the Kinabatangan from Sandakan to Lahadatu, they stopped crossing. So first barrier finished, over. So now they are traveling between here, between the mangroves here, to the bridge here. Here, I remind you, this is where the Nanobian Field Center is located. And this is Sukao, and this is where they want to build the bridge. You see all these points? This is one individual that we colored last year. This is now the only way for the elephants to go along Sukao. Here, it's impossible for them. There is a road now, and there are plantations, no forest along, and the village is there. So for them, it's now impossible to cross it. So the only route now to go from these two lots here to go to lot 5, lot 6 is going through there. And that's where this YD has a great idea to build a bridge right here. Yeah. Okay. Come on, what a detail. You see? So I promise you that there will be huge conflicts. This is a sanctuary, by the way. This is a protected area. So the idea is to build this road here, build a bridge, build the road here, and apparently stop there. Yeah, right. So that what it's going to do is continue the road here and then join all these small plantation villages. You can see that there is no villages here. This is a plantation. Okay, so this is his idea. And so what he said is, oh, we are not going to disturb the elephants. We are going to build a huge flyover going up to here, you know. And then people will be, you know, on the flyover, we see these elephants going below. Like, come on, give me a break. So they won't do that. And why? Because we have seen it in the Batuputi. They are not going below the bridge. They don't. I will show you an example of crocodiles. They don't go to below a bridge as well. We'll show you that later. So this is a nightmare. If it happens, this is the end of Kinabatangan. For those who have been to Kinabatangan, that's great. If they build a bridge, don't go back. So in central Sabah, this is again little Joe here, who was rescued next to his mom, who was poisoned. And he was sent to local Kuala. Now he's a big guy, very naughty. Of course, the poor guy, he went through such trauma. And so what we did in central Sabah is, after what happened, is to put a female from that herd, Dara. And so these are her movements in central Sabah. These are all protected forests. And so our work was instrumental to create a corridor of forest here to allow the elephants going from this area to Mount Magdalena Forest Reserve. And here's Malio Basin, here's Danang Valley. And so all this work that we and all these elephants that we have followed in central Sabah have helped to secure this corridor. This is actually already under plantations. This is a huge plantation, Bentawawasan. That was all elephant ranch. And now they are surprised that we've got elephant conflict here. People killed. Recently, the person who was killed was here, somewhere here. This is normal. We are completely destroying the habitat. Look at that. All this was under forest. When I did my survey on elephants and collected faces all around central Sabah, that was all under forest. Now they have this big project where they are thinking of planting palm oil as well. So we are fighting hard now to get this under at least industrial tree plantations or some kind of forest and not destroying it. So now what we're doing, we have this project. We just got some funding from Elephant Family, and we applied to US Fish and Wildlife. We call this project Be Connected, on a Borneo connectivity network in elephant changing habitat from movement data. So what we're going to do is to try to identify and map the habitat connectivity of satellite tracked elephants, 47 elephants, in this changing landscape for improved management and reduce conflicts with human activities. So we want to characterize the elephant movement behavior, the dispersal patterns, and also the habitat use in the different parts of Sabah. So we have followed elephants in all the elephant ranges in Sabah. We want to predict dispersal abilities in this changing landscape. Also analyze elephant behavior before and after translocation. So we have also individuals that we have translocated. We have caught in one place where they were having conflicts. We have translocated them to a forest reserve, and then we are now looking at their movement and how they react to that translocation. And the idea is to develop a management plan for the Bornean elephant in Sabah, including guidelines for creation of movement corridors and translocation areas, and then share that management plan also with all palm plantations. We need to change the way they are working. All palm plantations can act as elephant corridors if it's properly managed. So just a brief that we just started analyzing our data, but for example, we have now almost 200,000 GPS positions collected until October 2016. We have collected 37 elephants. In average, an elephant, the daily distance traveled by an elephant is 4 kilometers a day. I don't know how much it is here in Peninsula. Lower? It's lower. And these are the location of the elephants, more or less where we are. So this is Tabin Wildlife Reserve, completely surrounded by palm plantation, the size of Singapore. This is the Kinabatangan, where the Namibian Field Center is. This is the North Kinabatangan with Deramakot, Tankula, Segalu Logan Forest Reserve, where we have now conflicts here in Telubit. And this is the central Sabah, where the 14 elephants were poisoned. So we have now covering all the ranges. This is it for elephants. We are working also on a big bovids, wild cattle. Unfortunately, I mean, the banteng is now out of the Kinabatangan. We don't find banteng in Kinabatangan. This is the only project that, with the elephants, that we are running outside the Kinabatangan. This was founded and still founded by the Sandarbi Foundation. So what we did the last 3 years, we did a statewide survey using camera traps. And so this next year, in November, we're going to run a population habitat and viability analysis, the same thing I showed you for the orangutans, and we're going to write a state action plan. So these are the results from our from our survey. So in light green, these are areas where banteng are present. In pink, it's all areas where banteng are absent now. So we can also already see some massive issues here. We have a big population, well big, maybe 30, 40 individuals here in Sipitan. This is the most western population of banteng. And they are completely isolated from this range, which is Mayo Basin, Kinabatangan, Gunung Rawan, Sapulut, near Kalimantan. Then we have Malwa, Kuala, where we have a big population. And then this is the North Kinabatangan. The problem here is the Kinabatangan that is splitting these two populations here. So we have to find ways of reconnecting. They will probably cross the river, but probably less than elephants. Tabin, completely isolated. We need to find a way to join it with Kuala here, Forest Reserve. There are some work now in trying to reconnect Tabin and Kuala. And then another isolated population, it's Paitan and Subut Forest Reserves. So a nightmare for conservation here that we're going to try to solve and draft an action plan for the banteng next year. We have already published a couple of papers. We have been submitting a couple this year already, and that was the work of one of my PhD students, Benny, who graduated 2 years ago, and also a Malaysian master student from University of Malaysia, Sabah, who is going to graduate this year. And we also published this book. I actually have 5 copies here, if anyone wants to buy one, on the banteng. It's 25 ringgit. This is the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Environment. It's a big supporter of our work, and a big conservation supporter. Is actually currently fighting against shark fin soup in Sabah, and he's a very good friend, and we're working very closely together. This is Puan Yatilan, the CEO of Sandarbi Foundation. and this is the editor, the publisher of this book. And we did also one on elephants. I've got also 5 copies. So we do a lot of PR for all our projects. Sometimes it comes to Peninsula Malaysia and Star or New Straits Times. And we try to be also sometimes catastrophic, like this, banteng heading for extinction. This is the banteng is the most endangered species now in Borneo, after the Sumatran rhino. Sumatran rhino is extinct. Now people think that they found one in Danone because they saw one footprint. Anyway, we can consider that the Sumatran rhino is extinct. Even if there is one in Danone, I don't know what it's going to do. There is no mate. So now the only way we can save it is to take him to captivity or her and try to get a sperm or oocytes and then try to get something with that. So if we don't want to start a big project on captivity, using new technology, in vitro fertilization, etc. If we don't want to do that with the banteng, we have to act now, because this is going to be the next species that's going to be extinct in Sabah, in Borneo. We're also working on proboscis monkey. Also a project that was founded by the Sam Darby Foundation. Thank you, Sam Darby. I don't know if there's anyone from Sam Darby here, but thank you, Sam Darby. They helped us a lot, and they still help us. And on this project, I have a PhD student who is Dr. Sam Nathan. I'm sure some of you know him. He's also some kind of character and a real conservation hero. Here he is. He's a wildlife veterinarian. He studied at UPM. And he's also the assistant director for the Sabah department, and he's doing his PhD with me on the conservation genetics of proboscis monkey at Cardiff University. He's supposed to finish in a couple of years. It's very difficult to mix your work, because if he didn't stop his work and mix that with a PhD. So we'll see. So what we have been doing is catching proboscis monkey, collecting blood samples all over Sabah, and this is the places where we collected samples. So we have basically covered the whole range of proboscis monkey: Kinabatangan, Segama, Sandakan Bay. We have also gone to Sugut, the north, Kudat, Kota Belut, even Kota Kinabalu. We sampled one individual in Gaya Islands, and then also Krias. So we covered the whole range, and so we have been looking at mitochondrial DNA, and we found 3 genetic lineages. We need more work on this. It is undergoing. We are also analyzing 23 nuclear markers, microsatellites, to look at the impact of fragmentation, to look at genetic differentiation between populations, etc. So this is Danone Field Center has also established a health genetic and forensic laboratory in Kota Kinabalu, together with EcoHealth Alliance and with the Sabah department. So we're doing some genetic work there, and also some health, looking at viruses, etc. Well, another part of this proboscis project is led by one of my PhD students, Danica Stark. She's from Canada, also registered at Cardiff University, and we use satellite colors to color proboscis monkey, both females and males, along the Kinabatangan. They look big, but they're actually less than 3% of the weight of proboscis monkey. And this is the kind of data raw data that we are getting. They're all positions, GPS positions from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 groups. You know that proboscis monkey lives in groups, so if you capture a male, the dominant male, you have data from the whole group, or if you capture a natural female, you're going to have data from the whole group. So it's basically data for a group of proboscis monkey. And so what she's looking at is whole range. She's also going to, what Danica has done is she's looking at different methods to look at habitat use. Because you can say, okay, this is the range of the proboscis monkey. Yes, he obviously goes in all these spaces. but there are places where he spent much more time, like here, for example, or here. So there are different methods to look at after those data. I'm not going to go into details. I'm sorry, not be technical. But what is really interesting is you can already see that there are different home range sizes, and some individuals are actually occupying more land than others. And here, this is a really interesting case. This is a plantation, and this is a riparian reserve. And you can see that they are never going to plantation. This is a species that will never use the plantations, never. So that's really interesting, and you can see that it's actually using the whole area. And sometimes venturing a little bit there, but spending most of its time there, and it's a group, and so you can also, obviously there will be huge problem in a way in terms of food availability, etc. And these are near Sukao. This is on the Menangle River, for those who have been to the Kinabatangan, very well-known river, where you can see proboscis monkey, and you can see also the distribution here. And this is a case that I'm going to detail a little bit more. Those are also some data from other groups. You can see this was the first proboscis monkey that we colored ever. And you can see again, never going to palm oil plantations. Large home range, and what was really interesting, there is this myth that proboscis monkey go back to the river to sleep. Well, not exactly. They also spend time and sleep inside the forest. So we have a lot of data where proboscis monkey also sleep inside the forest. And so what we did last year, so basically Danica, we flew with a drone all the home ranges of the proboscis monkey. And so what she's going to look at is, so those are the GPS points of one group. These are sleeping sites in blue. And so what she's going to look at how the proboscis monkey are using the landscape. And she's going to see, where they're going exactly, whether and why they are going to those places. And what we did 2 years ago, 2014, so we had this data coming from our satellite colors, Miss Sukao, just in front of the village here. You can see the proboscis monkey with coloring. And she went drone, and that's what happened. So it's private land, I have to say. But however, you are not allowed to go up to the riparian reserve here. So here, these guys illegally approached the riparian. They have been sued by the forestry department after we did a big mess, and then now they have been asked to replant here. But basically, we saw that group lost about 20 to 30% of their home range to habitat. And so here it's not a whole barn, but it's acacia, I think, that they have been planting. So we did a lot of noise about it, as you can see. The iconic species where ecotourism loses more habitat in Kinabatangan. They're losing more habitat also in mangroves, etc. I think it was also the icon for Malaysia 2014, when you think that we are still destroying their habitats. I think it's just crazy. We're working also on the Sumba clouded leopard, the biggest cat in Borneo. This is one of my PhD students, Andrew Hearn. He's from Oxford University, and he's mapping the landscape resistance to identify corridors and barriers. And we are also going to run a PhD next year and draft an action plan for the clouded leopard. It's also a project. It's the third project funded by the Sam Darby Foundation for Danao Garfield Center. Those are data from 4 Sunda clouded leopard. Sample size, is shit, obviously. But when you know what is a clouded leopard, this is gold. And so we have managed to color three males and one female here involved. In red, you have the first male that we call ever. First Punta Cloud leopard satellite colored ever. It was colored here in Batangan. There is a ridge here. We trapped him here and then just released on site. Danau behind is here, and you can see his movements. You can see that he's not going into palm oil plantations. He has not crossed the river, although we show that they do sometimes. And very interestingly, he crossed a few times the road here. This is the Lahata to Sandakan road. If you have been on that road, it's quite a busy road, lots of trucks, lots of four-wheel drive going very fast. So he basically crossed the road a few times and went to this forest reserve on the other side of the road. If we hadn't colored the leopard, you would never expect it. So that was really interesting data. And you can also see that actually the range, this is another male, and this is another male, and this is a female. The range are not really overlapping. They all meet more or less because we all call them here in Batangan, so this is kind of a meeting point for them. But their range are not overlapping. That's very interesting. So they have their own ranges and territories, and the female goes a bit everywhere. So this is not the one that we colored, but this is what happens when you cross that road. So this is a case that we found. So the road is here, that the cloud leopard that we colored was crossing here, and that one that we found was a female, and she was killed on the road here. What is very interesting is that you can see that there's no forest around except this. So it seems that they might go also in palm oil plantation, but probably just for dispersing or something attracted her or pushed her outside the plantation. Outside the forest. But you could see that for the four that we colored in this area, they never entered the palm oil plantation. But this is what happens when you cross that road, and it was a really sad case. We're also working on small carnivores. This is a project led by Megan. She's American, also registered at Cardiff University, and she works on the influences of habitat fragmentation and agro-expansion on the spatial ecology of small carnivores, and especially on civets, Malay civets, and also common palm civets. I think this is one here. We also try to work on leopard cats, marble cats, flat-headed cats, and some of the civet species. So same thing, we're also setting up satellite colors. They're not very big. And we have been improving the quality, and the company we work with has been improving the quality, and the return that we get, despite the fact that we work in canopy, and also civets are entering in holes, and we have about 80 to 90% of success with our colors. And the beauty of GPS colors is that you can color 4 or 5 individuals at the same time. You get the data. You can download the data of your 5 individuals the same day. If you do VHF, you have to obviously go and do triangulation, and you can't work on 5 individuals at the same time unless you have 5 teams. Those are some data, a bit like the proboscis monkey that I showed you along the Kinabatangan. Danogiang is here. So you can see different patterns. This is the only common palm civet here that we colored. And those are very interesting case. So these are 2 males, and you can see that their ranges are overlapping, and they go inside the plantation. So when you go a bit closer and you drone or you go on the ground, you can see that actually the plantation is more or less abandoned, and there is a lot of openings, and so it's actually not really plantation. Here you can see that these 2, also 2 males, no overlapping in their own ranges. And this one kind of very quite distinct, and this one has a huge range here. So there are lots of differences, and that's what we are trying to look at. what are driving these differences. It's a bit closer here, and you can see here that they are not crossing the tributaries. They're staying between the two tributaries. That could be a mistake here. And those are the two that are not overlapping here. It's very clear. So we're also publishing our work. It was the first time that Viderit was satellite colored. So we published our work and ecological research. And we also do a lot of PR on this carnivore project. We are also doing an education program, outreach program in Kinabatangan and other places on Cloud de Leopard and carnivores. Now going to the reptiles. Luc is British and he's just finished, just graduated from Cardiff University, worked on crocodiles, setting up satellite collars on the buccal plate here, and looking also at habitat fragmentation and nesting ecology of the crocodile. Luc graduated this year and he's going to do a postdoc with Stanford University with Carnegie Airborne Observatory in Bregasna, who has been doing LiDAR survey in Sabah. So those are the type of units that we use. We work with Africa Wildlife Tracking, we're also doing our elephant collars, and we set up the satellite on the buccal plate here. It's really nice. It's like if it was made to put a satellite color. Those are some of the data that we got from our crocodiles. Those are three different males that we colored in the area. This is Dinovian Field Center here, the two oxborates. That goes up and then it goes away. I mean, it goes there more to the west, to the east. So it's a continuation here, there. And you can see that actually the males, they are between, this male is a 3.6 meter, this one is a 5.2 meter, and this one was 4.9. And you can see that they are not overlapping as well, their territories. And what is really interesting is that male is a smaller one, was completely avoiding the bigger one there, and using the oxborates. This one is an interesting case, quite funny, because this is the biggest croc we colored, 5.2 meters, and he's using this small ribbon here, going to this small oxbow, and also using this oxborate here. We've got a point here. That Dinovian Field Center is just on the other side. So, yeah, that's why we have a no swimming policy at the Field Center. Before there was an ecotourist camp here called Uncle Tam, and they loved swimming there. I think they have been very lucky. But anyway, so yeah, they are big. That's one of the two females that we colored. Very interesting because she has a very much bigger range than the males, and she travels much more, and she crosses all the males' territories. And she also looks for nesting sites. So she took this tributary here, go up to the inside the forest reserve here, not very far from plantations, and they are and she's probably looking for nesting sites. The 3.6 meter we found him in plantation. It goes in drains. So those are the 5 individuals that we colored. Gihan was the first one ever, first satellite colored in Borneo, 4 meters. Siganas on blue, that's the big guy who was going into Oxford here, 5.2. And then this is a female here, see? Much bigger, she went up to here as well, all the way. But you can see that the males don't really overlap and they have really specific territories. And now I'm going to show you something very interesting. I was talking about the bridge and the impact of the bridge on elephants. Well, it has also an impact on crocodiles. This is the bridge here, going over the Kinabatangan. And we looked at all the males and females that we colored on one side of the bridge. They never crossed the bridge. Never ever. The closest they went was there. This is a female we colored on the other side of the bridge. Yeah. She never crossed the bridge on the other side. Never. So there must be an impact of the bridge. Could be vibrations from passage of. It's a metallic bridge, so maybe it's one reason. But even crocodiles have barriers that you don't expect. So what we also did on frogs, we used drone to find nests. It's extremely difficult to find nest sites, nesting sites in the forest, in tropical forest. So we used the drone, and then by stitching the pictures and looking at the pictures and zooming, we managed to find those nests. And then we were doing branch roofing and going there, and we found actually hatchlings and things like that, and confirmed that it was nests. So we published our work. We had a couple of papers using a drone and recently. Another project on reptile, we're working on monitor lizard. Sergio is a Mexican. He's also a veterinarian, so he's our local vet. You can't do all this work without a vet, obviously. He's working on the landscape ecology of the monitor lizard. We have now so far colored about 13 individuals. He's planning to color up to 18 to 20 individuals in the whole landscape. And he has now collected more than 300 samples for blood, scale, parasites, and saliva. So we're looking at different things like viruses, heavy metals, and also genetics. And we set up colors. So those are both home ranges, just to show you, give you an idea. It's not the best method to get home ranges, but this is first analysis, and you can see that ranges in palm oil plantations are actually much smaller than in forests. The reason might be because there is enough food, lots of rats, and so they don't have to travel much to find food. But in the forest, it's not the case. They have to look for food. They also cross the river. River is not a barrier for monitor lizard, as you can see. And one of the most recent projects is on reticulated python. Rich is British and is also registered at Cardiff University. And we started this year coloring reticulated python. This is a female we call Pilat, because she had a scar on her head. And we set up a satellite color, and those are the preliminary results. She was scoped here, released there, and she already crossed the river and ventured in plantation here. So those are preliminary results, and it's really the beginning of the PhD. And I've got another PhD student, Elisa. Elisa is from Sandakan, and she did a master at the University of Malaysia, Sabah, pangolin ecology. Now she's looking at landscape ecology, and she's going to also set up satellite colors on the satellite units. Not colors, because we don't put a color on the pangolin. But she's going to set up satellite units on scales. Top job. First, to find a pangolin. You know that it's probably the most endangered species in the world. All the 8 species of pangolins have been now upgraded to critically endangered. And there is a huge traffic for scales and for meat, including in Kota Kinabalu. We know some restaurants serving pangolin meat to tourists. I'm going to try to stop them. Those bastards. So, just to conclude, our work. So we work very closely with the Sabah Wildlife Department, also with the Forestry Department, and we're involved in policy work drafting elephant action plan, for example, the elephant action plan that actually just ended this year was drafted by myself and Dr. Sen. Next year we are going to draft 3 action plans, one for plantain, one for cloud global, one for proboscis monkey. So we are involved in lots of policy work. We also drafted a state cabinet for the grading of the Sunda pangolin to totally protect it. We do a lot of awareness. I have an education officer, Clarice, who is working in schools and doing a lot of public awareness. We do try to publish some little books like the 2 I have here on the elephants, plantain. We are preparing one on crocodiles. We're also doing conservation enforcement. We have a river keeper unit. All my staff and students have been trained as honorary wildlife warden. I am one as well, so I can arrest people if they do something illegal in the forest. We do a lot of media coverage, capacity building. Some of my students are from Malaysia, from Sabah, from Peninsula. We also are part of organizing conferences, etc., etc. So before I finish this, I just wanted to show you a little. Well, first, I just have to. These are all our sponsors. We work also with the palm oil industry. I'm sure if you want to ask me a question and ask me why I work with the palm oil industry, I will be happy to tell you why. We work with the US Embassy in Kuala Lumpur, with the US Fish and Wildlife, lots of zoos in the US, and some in Europe, like Chester Zoo, the Mohammed bin Zayed, the Elephant Family, etc., etc. So I'm going to play now a very short video, if I can.
So you have a very interesting setting, the Nanajuan Field Center. I think this is quite a unique situation with so many species. So it's one place, no roads, so people are moving around just along the river. And obviously from megafauna to small mammals and reptiles. I think really is the most comprehensive kind of wildlife study that's happening right now in Malaysia. And you have also the best expertise for its size. You are not to have 100 staff, you have 15 people or something like that, and then you're working with species. So my first question is about how is it working, how do you manage to work with the Sabah department? It's a very big role, it's a very close partner, right? The university, all the students, and was it difficult to set this, or what was your vision when you started saying, this is what I want to do? And you come here, get this house, and then get all these people, how this came to be, and how is this to finance all this, getting all these things going on at this scale?
Okay, that's many questions. Well, the first time I came to Sabah was in '99, and I came because I had a friend, Mark Antonas, maybe some of you have heard about him. He's Mr. Orangutan in Sabah, and he started a project with his wife in the Kinabatangan on orangutan ecology. And so I came to see him and visit him when I was doing a project on orangutan genetics in Sumatra. And so I fell in love with the place, and I really wanted to do something there. So we applied for the Darwin Initiative grant in the UK to do population genetics of the orangutan in Kinabatangan. So I spent 6 months along the river, camping and with local rangers from Mark's NGO, Utan. And yeah, that's actually the first time in 2001 when I discovered Danau Diran, because it was built by the Sabah department on an Oxbow Lake. And I saw this big metallic jetty and this concrete path going into the forest, and I followed it, and I found these buildings in the middle of the forest. I thought, what's that? And there was nobody there. Then someone told me, well, it's the wildlife department, it's supposed to be an education center. So, okay, fine. 3 years later, I came back to do another project on elephant this time, because I really wanted to go back to Sabah. Still with Cardiff University, we applied to the Darwin Initiative, go back. and did a large survey of elephants in the Kinabatangan and also in the whole state of Sabah. And then I went back to the Dinogram, to that place, and it was still there, but falling apart. There were trees falling on the roofs. Nobody was there. So I was intrigued, and I went to talk to the wildlife department and said, well, we don't do anything, we don't have the funding, we don't have money to put people there. It's the usual thing with Malaysia. You build amazing buildings, you have amazing facilities, but no one inside to run it. So I came back with the idea of setting up a research and training center there, and I went to see my very good friend John Robertson at the back who is working now in Malaysia as well. So I brought him to Malaysia actually. And he was the director of administration of Cardiff School of Biosciences. And I talked to him, and he loved the idea. He never went there, but he loved it. And he found me £70,000 to set up the field center. And in 9 months, with a very little team, we set up the field center. And in 2008, we welcomed the first group of students from Cardiff University. And from there, we are now running 12 field courses per year, coming from all over the world. I have about 12 PhD students, 5 or 6 master students, and we are running all these projects. But it's basically started like that. And the biggest project the project that started was on elephants. That's why the logo now has big elephants on it. And it's my passion also, like you.
Yeah, the reason why I asked about the field centers, because in a place like Malaysia, there's always this drive, let's make a field center. People like to build things, and people like to, they see a spot in the forest, let's make a building here, and then people will come. And there are many negative experiences. Not only Malaysia, I think globally there has been a bubble of field centers in which people build something that they cannot be maintained, and then suddenly you have a monster that you have to feed somehow. And then I think Danang is one of the few cases that we can say that in 2016 it is healthy and it seems to be not a problem, but I would think that many field centers are suffering very much to finance, to keep alive. They're bringing people that they have to push a lot to bring people. They're opening to tourism, which I guess is not what you want. This is not something that will be. This is not probably the basis of your time. So then you feel that you can continue the center in the midterm, 5-10 years, you see it very feasible.
The great thing with the Organic Field Center, and the thing that John asked me when before he gave me the money, he said, give me a 5-year plan, master plan. So I gave him a 5-year master plan, and I said, within 5 years I hope to run about 10 field courses and be self-sufficient. Even he asked me if I could include my salary in it. I said, that's going to be a bit difficult. So, thanks God, Cardiff University decided that it was worth paying my salary, and I didn't have to take it out of the field center. But basically, since the day we opened, we have been self-sufficient. Cardiff University has not provided one more pound than the 70,000, except for replacing the water treatment system that was deficient. And most recently, and that's amazing, they provided us with £20,000 to become solar. So we will be the first field center in Malaysia, well in Sabah, to be actually solar energy. So that's a great thing. And Cardiff founded the solar panels. So. But I think the reason I think it works is because it's small. And if you compare that to the huge field center that they have built in Danang, Danang was the first. Danang is very successful because it was the first one here in the region. But it's huge, and if they don't have Yayasan Sabah behind them, they wouldn't survive. And they had also the Royal Society for many years, and look at now Maleo Basin. It's a huge field center. Nobody's going there. Well, almost nobody. They are really struggling. They are now opening for tourists, and they just built another huge one, which is actually twice Malio Basin in a place like Impact Canyon, which is actually 10 times smaller than Malio Basin. And well, I hope that they will attract people, but if you don't have the support from Sabah Foundation, they wouldn't survive. And I don't have the support from the Malaysian government. They don't give me money. I have to actually try a lot every year to get some funding from Sabah Water Department to renovate or to do a bit of maintenance. Usually I don't even ask because I know they're going to say no, we don't have money. So we just do with what we get, and so far so good. We are healthy, financially healthy. We have never been in the red, and we managed to do what we're doing.
And also you work very closely with the water department, with the Sabah water department, with forestry, and so then I think it's very important to work with authorities. I think really they want to do the management and the conservation, so then there is no point in having a detached program that doesn't link with decision makers. So do you want to comment a little bit on the main challenges and the main benefits of working with them, or how is your integration with what kind of?
Well, it's been long. I mean, I've been now in Sabah for 17 years, so and I just started, and it's still difficult actually to get the trust and also the support. Thankfully, we have had a minister since the beginning, the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Environment, Datuk Masidi Manjun, who has been there since the beginning, since we actually signed the first memorandum of understanding. He was the witness for that, and so he has been the minister. But from the day we signed the first MOU in 2007, we have had 4 different water department directors. So that's where sometimes it's difficult, because I have to restart the whole thing, and they always say, I didn't know what was going on there, before you send reports and things like that. So you have to start again. But the great thing is that the relationship with the minister. I WhatsApp him directly if I have an issue. I ask him for advice. If he feels that I should shout or not, or if I should shut up. So, and he's good with that. It's very important, extremely important to work directly with the government and have a very good relationship with the local government. So,
I heard a speech from the minister, from Sabah in May. And I was very impressed because he was talking without any notes, and he was talking, he seemed to be on the top of the story. He was talking about the wildlife trade and those things. And he seemed to be something that was close to his heart. And that's very important, have leaders, political leaders who have this kind of commitment and they feel part of the story. So my last question is talking about shooting out, and then we heard you today. You are a very, very well-mannered person, but you let your tongue, you're free with your language, and then actually you are very, very noisy, being in social media or being in many other channels. You don't have you feel very, very comfortable making noise when you feel you have to do it. So how does it work in a place like Malaysia? Is it easy to be so vocal? Is it easy to say what you think? And how, what are the limits? Is there, can you say whatever you want?
No, it's not easy. Not a lot of trouble. The good thing is that I have the support from the minister, even if it's not always open, because politically he cannot. But for example, with this bridge issue, I've been one of the most vocals, and I am the big enemy of the local YB. He wants to kick me out of the Kinabatangan. He asked the Water Department, Forest Department to stop signing MOU with us and with NGOs and foreign NGOs, and they should go back to their country and take care of their own wildlife and leave people living alone here. So, I say, my country now is Sabah, and I moved 16 years ago. My son is born in Sabah. He knows only Sabah. He knows the Kinabatangan. He loves elephants. He loves proboscis monkey, and I want to people of Sabah to continue enjoying that. So that's why I'm doing that. The funny thing is that apparently I arrived 16 years in Sabah poor. I was very poor. That's what the YB said at the State Assembly a few weeks ago. You probably read it in the papers. He said that we arrived poor and we became rich, and we will never go because now we are rich. And we live in mansions and really amazing houses in Kinabatangan. And yeah, so that's why I'm here. And obviously I'm staying at the Chulan hotel, nice hotel, but I'm not paying for it. They are paying for it because I'm examining if one tomorrow for a PhD. But I flew Air Asia and economy, and yes, I have a house in Kinabatangan, a nice one. I mean, but it's not a mansion. It's just a few small rooms, and I have a big garden because I have 2 big dogs. But that's it. And we are not the conservationists and scientists. They're not doing that job for money. I mean, I'm sure all of you, all the students here, I'm sure you all struggle with your parents saying, why are you doing biology? Why are you not a doctor? Why are you not doing engineering? Why are you not doing computer?
We tell them and they will make a lot of money. So
I don't say that.
Okay, I think we will open now to the floor, so then they will take 3 questions at a time. Just raise your hands and wait for the microphone to come. So one question, another question, and one more there. So then just wait for the microphone, please introduce yourself, say who you are and your application, and then your question. Short questions, okay, and then we'll try to get it.
Okay, hello, my name is Sebastian. I'm not affiliated with this university, I just been dragged along. Vice serving Nottingham students. I do work in conservation myself, but in the marine part. So very interesting to hear what's going on in Sabah. I have 3 questions. Try to mention short. Firstly, you mentioned that the corridors, the primary corridors, can actually act as proper corridors if they are managed. So what management needs to be done there? And second question would be, you said the restoration projects, or like the restoration part of the forest, do already recruit wildlife. Okay, so is that wildlife migrating from which parts, given the fragmentation? And is that wildlife also becoming residential? And if so, do they reproduce? Because I think that'd be something interesting to know. And third, can we contribute somehow to that bridge not being built? Is there anything that we could say or do?
So we will start with these 3 questions.
So the first question was about the management in palm oil plantations to serve as corridors. There is no easy solution, but there are ways to manage a plantation that can be used by elephants. I mean, you know that every 25 years the trees are cut and it becomes like a lunar site. It's awful, especially seen from the plane. And so when the biggest problem with elephants, for example, is that when the plantation is old, 9-10 years old, they're not really creating any issues. They just come to the plantation, they eat sometimes the leaves, but they don't destroy the trees, so they are not a problem. The only issue is when you cut the tree, then replant, and then for the first 3, 4, 5 years, then the elephant goes for the shoots, and they love it, and that's where the problem is. So you could actually think about moving fences. So you fence the area they just replanted, and then when your trees are big enough, you take out your fence. So that's one idea. The other is to maintain some forest fragments, and I'm not talking only for elephants, but for orangutans, for example, for civets, for many species. They can use these small forest fragments within the plantations as stepping stones, and they can disperse like that. So that's very important as well. Maintain also riparian reserves. So lots of rivers are going through old pine plantations, and so if they maintain riparian reserves, that can help dispersal of wildlife. And I'm talking also about just insects as well, dung beetles and things like that are very important. So, and obviously it depends on the size of the reserves, but the biggest the better. So that's for the first question. Okay. The second question was about restoration and how the wildlife is using it. And so this project that I just showed is really recent. It's like now. It's coming to the third year. So we've got already trees that are up to 3-4 meters. So we see sort of a bit of canopy. And so what we are seeing is mostly at the moment birds, hornbills coming back, and so obviously they can act as seed dispersers. But we set up also some camera traps to look at wildlife and what kind of wildlife comes back. So far we don't have much on the camera traps. One interesting fact in that particular plantation is that we have a civet, Malay civet, that we colored in the sanctuary next to the plantation, and she's actually now going into into that riparian reserve and using it as in part of its home range. So it's crossing the drain and goes into the plantation, and we have now satellite points, and it's also sleeping there. So that's the first evidence we've got. Hopefully we're going to get more evidence, and hopefully primates will start coming back, like mountain macaques and proboscis monkey, etc. So, yeah. One thing that we have to do is try to now put a bridge on the drain, because there is a drain going along the plantation, between the plantation and the forest, and we need to get rid of the fence that is there and also the drain. So we're talking with the water department to get this. And the third question?
How can people help with the
Yes, shouting. Each time you can go on our Facebook page, like it, and each time I shout, you just say, yeah, great, well done. And I went there, this is full. I mean, it's a really complicated case because the money has been allocated by the federal government to go to Sabah for that particular project. If the project doesn't happen, it's 70 million ringgit lost for the state. So that's where there's a problem. That's where the chief minister has got a dilemma there. Say, what am I doing with that money? If I can't spend it, then it goes back to the federal government, and I don't want that. So he's got this Minister of Finance pushing on Minister of Finance saying, what are you doing? No, conservation, sorry, no, 70 million, we're going to lose it. So unless you find a project or something to do that would, to spend the money, then it's very likely it's going to happen. So we have been asking now for a special EIA, environmental impact assessment, and we keep shouting. Now all the NGOs are working together. When there was this specific attack on myself and Mark Entrepreneurs and in the Kinabatangan about house becoming rich, etc. All the NGOs responded, including WWF, which was really surprising. Usually they don't really take part in all these political battles. But all the NGOs responded. A few that took John Payne and Blood Reynolds and Darrell Weber from RSPO all responded and defended us, and so it was big. So the chief minister is listening to that. He's very sensitive also to comments from overseas. That's why we got a letter from David Attenborough sent directly to him. We got a letter from a different organization in the US, World Land Trust. So it was supposed to happen last year. It hasn't happened yet. So at the moment, that's why the YP is shouting at the State Assembly, because it's really frustrated because it's not happening yet. So let's continue shouting.
We'll take 3 more questions now, so then, is that here?
I have 2 questions. It's a great honor being here. Number 1 is how do you convince people to give you the funding needed? and I'm surprised that the Malaysian government's not really that supportive of it. And how do you convince that? That's one question. Number two is that what are the efforts being done to connect the two forests that are being cut by the road? Is it the Bahat
Utility was question from again.
Can I first respond to this?
Let's get this one again.
Okay. Thank you for the talk. The webinar is very interesting. My question is directed towards wildlife poaching. Do you have that problem in Kinabatangan, and how do you tackle this issue? And I'm also interested to find out about your honorary warden status for your staff and the people, the locals who was here. Thank you.
Okay, so the first question is how do we convince the founders? That's about 60% or 70% of my job, trying to find money, not for my mansion, but to pay for my students and their registration fees, their stipends, to pay for the staff. I have a team of about 50 people. I spend about 75,000 ringgit per month in salaries for all my students and my staff. Well, the money that we've got is mostly from the field course. So group of students coming, so I don't have to fight much for that, because it's basically people who want to come and spend 2 weeks in the center with students, and they pay a fee, and that helps covering a lot of costs. We've got visitors coming, scientists who pay also fees to be there, and they pay for their food, accommodation, etc. And then 60% of our funding is coming from grants. So I spend a lot of time applying for grants from all over the world. And yes, you have to beg. You have to beg a lot. I'm sure Anissa begs a lot. I spend a lot of time. With meetings and sending nice pictures and reports and going on Facebook talking about what we're doing. I'm actually managing myself the Kinabatangan Film Center Facebook, and in 4 years we got up to now almost 15,000 followers, and it's all by just posting news, posting adverts, even posting news from Mangabe, and then asking people to share, etc. And then your work starts to be known by founders as well. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of writing grant applications. I also get my students involved in that. It's part of their training. They have to also look for funding themselves. They can't expect me to find the money all the time. When they can't, and we do with what we have. But most of the time they try to find money. We work with different organizations like Samdarbi. Samdarbi has been a big partner of our project. They are a big partner to Meme as well, and And the second question was about
connecting the land. So is there any effort to connect?
So on the road, actually, this year I had a brilliant idea. I mean, it's not really an idea, but it's happening already. But I want to actually use the 70 million ringgit that the YB wants to build a bridge in Sukao. I would actually want to build an eco bridge from the two forest reserves above the road. So we'll try to convince him to spend the money on that instead of spending money on a stupid bridge that is not bringing anything. At least it might, help elephants crossing, and I don't think he's going to like it, because he's saying that it's for the people that he's building the bridge, but so he's not going to do it for the elephants. But we can try. But that's the only way we will manage to connect the two sides of the Kinabatangan. It's by building an eco bridge. There's no way they will pass below the bridge. No species pass below the bridge. Not even.
Elephants do pass.
Noise, vibrations.
So then On the road, on the eco bridges, the viaducts are being built for fauna, generalist large mammals. That's herbivores to pass underneath, but also the parts outside. So they are not only using the viaduct. Carnivores are not using it. So then, yeah. Okay, so then what about poaching? Do you have poaching? And how do
poaching,
you, can you really detain people? Can you arrest them?
Yes, I can arrest people, yeah.
Do you have guns? Do you go around?
I don't have a gun, no. I wish I had. No, I don't have a gun, and I don't wish. But yeah, we have massive problems of poaching. Massive problems, and I think everywhere it's happening. And Southeast Asia is one of the big platforms for poaching and trade. And I'm strongly involved with that. We do a lot of undercover operations. I'm funding them, DGFC is funding undercover operations in some of the markets, etc., showing to the Sabah Department that actually protected species are still hunted with permits. They need proof, so I give them the proofs. We work recently, I'm sure those who are visiting our Facebook page saw these 3 clips that we did on wildlife poaching, wildlife trade, and the reuse of wildlife products. So we have, together with last week I met with Minister Masidi, and we are going to try to get this 30-second clip showed on airlines landing in Sabah. Mostly from China. There are people coming from China, Chinese tourists coming from Hong Kong, etc. They travel to Sabah and they go on tour to eat exotic meat. And tour guides are taking them to restaurants, secluded places, houses that are transformed in restaurants, and they serve pangolin meat, sun their parts, etc. We have evidence for that, and we're going to try to tackle this. And so the Minister Masidi is extremely supportive, and so we are going to start a big campaign showing these clips also in the cinemas, in KK, in the hotels, etc. And we are also going to try some undercover work. I can't go there too much.
We'll take one more round of questions. I see one here, and then the second will be Kathy, Alex, and then we have 4 questions. Okay, so yes, that's Steve.
Hi, Steve Watson from WWF.
Good man.
I'm glad we at least stepped up. I agree, we can do a bit more politically. My focus is on soft commodities, so including palm oil, seafood, etc. In public forums, Sabah talks a lot about jurisdictional approach for palm oil.
Yep.
So all the plantations in Sabah would have to be RSPO certified, so they'd have to go through HCV assessments, etc. How likely do you think they're going to do that? And if they do, will that solve a number of your challenges?
I'm going to forget the preference.
Thank you from my university. My question actually goes a bit on from that, because I knew about this certification. I think we need to make plantations more sustainable by making them more wildlife friendly. And obviously the riparian buffers have to be enforced, and 100 metres would be awesome, maybe more corridors. But you mentioned that there was a degraded palm oil plantation where the animals were going into. So what was it about that plantation that made it happy for wildlife? If we could do that in more undergrowth, or what is it, and which animals can we encourage? We've got to try to make you fly over Borneo, it used to just be forest, and now it's all open. You have to make it better.
So Alex?
And that was a really interesting presentation. I love all that data. So one thing I was interested in, did you see a difference in terms of, a lot of that data seemed to be about movement for foraging as opposed to movement for dispersal, and did some of these animals, for example, did they have like dispersal events where they try to move 10 kilometres to find a new group or something like that?
June from UNMC Environmental Science. My question is, who owns the palm plantations? Is it big companies or small companies, and how easy or how hard is it for them to get off where you're not supposed to be?
So let's go to the old man question. So then we have our RSPO, at the state level, and then how we can improve all these old man plantations, make it more friendly, and who owns these plantations. So So you have one question that is elaborated complex solution, and then we'll go into the open data and other things.
Okay, so yeah, RSPO, CSPO. Well, I think Sabah has put itself in a very tricky situation because they actually promised that it's going to happen by 2025. So if it doesn't happen, they're going to look stupid. Although. So I think we are actually already using that to show you the case of the central Sabah with this, the corridor that we set up and that was classified as Class 1 by the Sabah Forestry Department. And on both sides, they wanted to put palm oil plantation. This is a forest reserve. This is a Gunung Rara Forest Reserve. So if there is a plantation going there will never be CSPO. Never. They won't be sustainable. So we are now trying to push the Sabah Forestry Department saying, guys, be careful, because if you allow these plantations to plant on a forest reserve, HCV, never. And so we have done also HCV assessment, and it's totally HCV. I mean, we've got elephants, orangutans there, so it's already HCV1. So I think in a way it's good, it's great for us because they have committed. Musa, the chief minister, has committed for that. So I think there is no way back. I mean, for them to go back, all the NGOs know, and they work on that very hard and remind them every year, every day that they have committed. So I think it's gonna make a difference, definitely. And I think we're gonna save some land from being planted. And so to go to the other question is that we did a study that we published in PLOS ONE like a couple of years ago in the Kinabatangan, looking at underproductive oil palm. And there were 20% of the Kinabatangan floodplain that was underproductive. 20%. So now we are trying to push all these plantations or estates that are not productive to get their land back for conservation. And that little piece of plantation that I was showing is one of them. It's one of these underproductive. So now we are trying actually to get that land back and set up a corridor around that for elephants as well. And the reason the civets are going there is because, yes, there's a lot of undergrowth, the trees are not doing well, so there is a lot of places where they can hide during the night. Because usually what they do, if the plantation is really clear, it's really a plantation, they go, they sleep in the forest during the day, and they go and hunt in the plantation at night for rats, etc. The reason they spend some time in this underproductive plantation is because there's lots of undergrowth, etc. Who owns these plantations? In Kinabatangan, there are some big owners. Sangabi is one of them. IOI, KTS, etc. But there are also a lot of small owners. Local people who have a few hectares of land, and they plant it for palm, so that makes sometimes difficult. The biggest challenge that we've got in the Kinabatangan is that we would like to set up an integrated fencing project. So where all the plantations, small and big owners, work together and build just one fence. Instead of building all their fences and disrupting the roots of the elephants and creating a big mess and increasing also the conflict. But it's very difficult because you have to work with the big owners. The big owners don't want to pay for the small owners. The small owners don't have the money to pay for it. So it's difficult to get the plantation working together. But we are making progress. And the one that we recovered from the Riparian Reserve, we did it by force. We just told them, we gave them a couple of ultimatums in the press. I worked very closely with the assistant minister. He was backing me up, and he said, we do 2 PRs So one in 1 month, the next month we do another one. If they don't respond and they don't give the land back, I'm going to go there and earth one tree, and then you do the rest. And he did it.
So when they come to you, have a movements in which you see like, dispersal
Yes,
movement
yes.
or
Okay, so yeah, in the Kinabatangan we have not observed much dispersal yet. The reason is there's not much places to disperse. I think the most interesting one was this garden loba that crossed the road. It was probably trying to find new place to hunt and find food. We don't know, maybe it was part of its range and he was ready to now risk his life to cross the road. Elephants, we have seen some dispersal happening, trying to go within plantation, reach Sandakan Bay, etc. But they all fail because they have to cross the plantation. But there's not many alternatives for them to disperse. And it's a very secluded area, so we don't really see much long dispersal, including with crocodiles and yeah.
Okay. Do we have burning questions? Anyone want to have final round? Yes. So then there will be no answers. You only make a question. But make the question. So we have Kathy, and then who else wants to make any question? Okay. Only Kathy. Thank you.
Okay, how about tunnels instead of bridges? I know they're expensive, but having cars going underneath corridors, with tunnels going underneath rivers.
So tunnels, you mean for cars or
The cars go under.
Yeah, I mean.
It's expensive, but it'll keep it open for the wildlife.
It could be an option. I don't think it's going to happen in that case. And the problem is that I see that there are villages and people living along the roads. So even if you do a tunnel, it's going to be difficult for the elephants to actually cross the road, and they're going to be in conflict with wildlife. So the idea would be mostly to actually connect and have the bridge, the eco bridge, leaving from the forest reserve going through to the other forest reserve, or just leaving like that, because now they are going more and more closer to the road, staying there. One day they're going to cross, and the day they cross, it's going to be a problem. On the road, there will be accidents. It's now like it happens in Peninsula. So that's the challenge we have, is that people also live along the road. So if you do a tunnel, there will be still people around on both sides.
So there's a final question time for me. And it's a very simple one. Do you see future for elephants, orangutans, and this big wildlife in Kinabatangan in 50 years from now? Yes, no?
Well, yes, because if I was not seeing one, I wouldn't work so hard to make a difference. I have to see a future. Otherwise, I would stop tomorrow. But it's true that if I see, if this bridge happened, I seriously consider to move away from Sabah and go somewhere else, or just retire and live with my son. Because for me, I think it would be the biggest mistake they would do in this area. The Kinabatangan is an amazing place, and it's the only place that connects, the west, the east coast to the central Sabah. It's full of biodiversity. It's amazing. Just go and have a look at our Facebook page. The diversity that we've got, and I show you the big species. But we also work on frogs. We work on insects. We work on slaughterers and tarsier. It's amazing. Birds, the bird diversity there is crazy. The snakes. So we're going to destroy, one of the jewels of Sabah, and it's one of the places that attract tourists. Tourism is the second income in Sabah.
I think it's the first one, right?
No, I think it's still behind plantations.
I It was on the 2015 that became the first. I don't know if
Could be. But that's what we are using also when we talk to the chief ministers. That they are destroying their revenue, and it's the most sustainable revenue. You never know what can happen to palm oil in the future. People can stop. You might find a new oil, might find something else, or a virus can be spread. Okay.
So thank you very much. That's been very interesting and probably